Hello, this is Rachel Simmons from the Department of Art and Art History at Rollins College, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to the Rollins Book Arts collection and to book arts as a whole. So when we think about artist books, we can think about them in many different ways. Book arts as an artistic medium and as a discipline of study produces publications conceived as artworks in their own right. Interacting with a book as an artwork invites a reflection on the properties of the book form itself. The artist book invites us to hold it and turn through its pages. Whether the contents are visually or linguistically based, or a mix of both, physically moving through an artwork implicates notions of sequence, repetition, juxtaposition, and duration. The simplicity of a book that is small in scale, costs relatively little to produce, and is easily replicable allows the work to flow outside of mainstream channels and reach an audience without institutional or commercial consent. It's a topically rich and highly individualized art form with the potential to inform and inspire. And artist books come in all shapes and sizes, from miniature books to flexagons, pop-ups, altered books, zines, and even books that might hang from the ceiling. Many book artists in the Rollins Book Arts collection explore social and political issues through their work. The Rollins Book Arts collection is intentionally an interdisciplinary teaching collection, directly supporting the college's curriculum and its long tradition of liberal education. The purpose of the collection is to use art as a medium through which students can better understand multifaceted issues, like global politics, economies, cultures, the tensions around social structures and marginalized populations, conflicts between human development and the environment, art as a concept, expression, and a communication tool, and many other contemporary issues that students will encounter in their coursework and daily lives. The Rollins Book Arts collection is supported by a close collaboration between three entities on campus: the Department of Art and Art History, the Rollins Museum of Art, and the Olin Library. And it's guided by an advisory board that includes students, staff, and faculty from across our campus community. The Rollins College Book Arts collection is housed in the archives and special collections area of Olin Library. I'm going to introduce you to one of our newest acquisitions from the collection and show you a little video of the book. This book is called Tensile, A Sublime Love Story, and it's by Jessica Spring in collaboration with Alice DeMarais. Jessica is a printmaker and book artist from the Pacific Northwest, and she collaborated with Alice on this book. And here's their description. Tensile, A Sublime Love Story weaves together a 19th century poem of seduction by Percy Shelley with current research on bisphenol contamination in our environment and bodies, gathered by biologist Alice DeMarais. Used to manufacture plastics and resins for food and drink packaging, BPA impacts the endocrine system, impairing development and reproductive health. BPA analogs, including BPE and BPS, are similar reproductive toxins with transgenerational effects. 19th century writers didn't know synthetic plastics would emerge in 1907 to change the world. And in the midst of industrialization, Romantic era poets reinvigorated a spiritual connection to nature by portraying the sublime. Shelley celebrates the mingling of rivers and oceans, while scientists conclude that exposure to BPA contamination is ubiquitous. Tensile explores the irony of our love affair with plastic, a monster of our own creation. And you can see in the video that the backgrounds are all different. Those are printed on a press using single-use plastics, such as vegetable and fruit netting, bread ties, and all manner of contact lens things, labels, lids, all kinds of single-use plastics. And it was letterpress printed on a Vandercook. And it's a really interactive book with pop-outs and this format called a Leporello accordion, which flexes back and forth so easily. Another book in the collection is called Talisman. This is a new acquisition as well. It's by Ellen Knudsen of Crooked Letter Press in Gainesville, Florida. Talisman is an offering of support to artists and creative people that might be feeling alone in the world. As an artist and as a human being, the artist expresses that she's found it difficult to feel motivated while the worst traits of humanity have not only surfaced in our country but are being celebrated. Writers and artists before us have lived through similarly poisonous times and created iconic works despite the tumultuous climate. Talisman is an amulet, a charm to keep with us. The linocut image of the boat-tailed grackle is intended to be a familiar spirit to guide us through rough territory. In times like these, it helps to keep our friends close. Knudsen's description of the book is as an active kind of element that you would engage with as a viewer, and her format is equally engaging. So as you're seeing, you pull cards out of this folded structure, and then you can unfold the entire structure, revealing multiple sides and flaps, diagrams. It's characteristic of Knudsen's work to use text and image together to create almost a system, framework, like a map, with navigational tools for the reader. Next in the collection, I want to highlight this book by Jacob Wan. He is a Chinese artist who is living in the United States. He teaches at the University of North Florida in Jacksonville. And he made this mask book during the pandemic. It's called Cover Your Mouth. Not only were we in the midst of a pandemic, but we were also being sort of spoken to by government officials, especially former President Trump, about the pandemic. And often President Trump would blame, the Chinese for the pandemic, which resulted in this backlash of anti-Asian behavior and violence. And as an Asian, as a Chinese artist, and also as a gay man, Jacob reacted to that very strongly. He printed one of Trump's speeches and censored it, revealing all of the hateful speech, using thread and paper, and using a mask that he had worn. He creates this almost like a time capsule of this moment in which we were all experiencing this mix of uncertainty and hate. These are two other works in the collection I want to highlight quickly. This is Phil Zimmerman's Sanctus Sonorensis, which is a heartbreaking meditation on immigration across our southern borders. Phil uses biblical text, Gilded Edge, and images of the southwestern desert landscapes to point to the harsh environment in which immigrants have to travel in the Sonoran Desert. And the book takes you through dawn to dusk, showing the desert landscapes and evidence of the immigrants who have passed through. On the right, you'll see some images from Clarissa Sly's book, Transforming Hate, which documents the process of the artist folding pages from a white supremacist book into origami cranes, which is a symbol of peace. So she's very literally transforming hateful words into beauty as she reflects upon her own experiences growing up Black and female in the South. These books were on display in a show called Common Ground at the Rollins Museum of Art. If you didn't see that show last year, you can still see it online in this 3D virtual tour. It's easily accessible from the Rollins Museum of Art website. And the show was organized by theme. So every case had a different theme. And And it's a great way to introduce yourself to the collection if you're not on campus or you don't have access to archives. You can also access the collection online through this digital archive managed by Olin Library. It's a wonderful landing page. It has information on the collection, and in addition, you can access images and videos of all the works as they come in and as they're cataloged. And so it's a great resource to access the work or research without having to go to archives. But we do encourage you to go to archives and actually handle the work for yourself. There's no uh, uh, other way to experience the work. There's no better way to experience the work than to handle the books yourself. And you can always contact archives or drop by during their regular business hours, which during the regular semester tend to be Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. So how can you engage with the Rollins Book Arts collection? Whether you're a student, staff, or faculty member, you can use it to explore, discuss, and debate any area, issue, or idea from your courses or from your personal research or experiences. You can engage with this wide array of topics, and you can do this by manipulating an actual work of art in your hands. So it's a very different experience than you might be used to in a museum or gallery where you're not encouraged to touch the work. In fact, you're forbidden from touching the work. With artist books in our collection, we encourage everyone to be able to handle the books. You can also curate and display exhibitions of the books. So if you have a subject that you're wanting to explore, you can put together a small exhibition of the books on campus. You can also participate in helping us add to the collection and shape the collection by participating on the advisory committee. The Book Arts Collection Advisory Committee is made up of faculty, staff, and students. This is the current list here on the left side. So these are folks that are currently serving for this year. We meet once a semester, so it's very low commitment. We meet to review and shape the collection. We choose new acquisitions. We might choose a theme. For example, this year's theme was compassion and accessibility. And you can help us plan events and serve as a book arts ambassador on campus. So if you want to know more about the collection, there's an opportunity to engage with the books. This fall on September 9th, we're having our first open house in Olin Library Archives. You can drop by anytime between 3:30 and 5. You can handle the books, and I'll be there to answer questions and help you brainstorm about how to use the books in your classes and in your research. And if you have any questions at all about the collection, please reach out to me. Also, there is an Instagram for the collection. It's Rollins Book Arts Collection on Instagram. So please follow us. You can see videos of the books. I tend to post videos as the books come into the collection to give you a good sense of what we have available. So thank you very much for your time, and please reach out.